Hello, this is Amy on the Whimsy Stamps channel, and today we are going to make an adorable Easter scene card using some new release products, the Spring Chicks stamp set and the Grass Frames die set. To set up the background for the card, I am going to blend two blues to make a beautiful spring sky, as well as two greens to create a beautiful meadow for our spring chicks to stand on. I start out with a lighter blue and then a lighter green, and then I will add a darker blue and a darker green just for contrast. And I've already cut out images from the Spring Chicks stamp set, and I'm coloring them in with Copic markers. And I'm doing some very quick Copic coloring, just about a 2, sometimes a 3 marker on this. For the egg here, I really want to get a rainbow, and so I'm going to go from purple to blue to green to yellow to a pink. And as I zoom in so you can see a little bit more of my coloring on this egg, I am going to be adding some dark purple and then lightening that up a bit with some pink, and then finally adding a little blue around to set off that background. And those are 2 of the eggs that I will be using to create our scene today. Now for the chicks, I decided to pick this little cute one that's already inside of an egg, and it looks like he's about to come out. And again, I'm just using some really quick coloring here, just a little bit of yellow on him and the orange on his beak. And then in order to keep that shell nice and white, I'm just going to take some very, very light blue, and I am going to go around the shell, and that's going to help it to be a little bit more on the white side. For our other spring chick, who is dressed up like the Easter Bunny, I'm going to color him in the same way with some yellow. And then I'm going to color in his little basket, and I'm going to add a pink and a purple Easter egg and a little blue bow tie just to add a little bit of different color. And I want his ears to stay white, so I'm just going to go around with a very light gray Copic for the ears and for the little bunny tail, and then just add some little pink inside of those ears to add a little bit more color. I also cut out 2 flowers from the Spring Chicks stamp set, and I'm just going to go ahead and color those in with some purples and pinks and a little bit of green and a little bit of yellow, just like I did. Again, this is very simple, quick coloring, just adding a dark and then fading that color out with a little bit of light. You can see in the left corner I have die cut pieces from the Grass Frames die set, and I'm actually going to use those not as flowers but actually as clouds. And on the right side I have already cut out the Grass Frames die set with the Mix and Match paper pack number 1, and that's going to use our grass. So let's go ahead and start to assemble our scene. So this grass is coming from the Grass Frames die set, so instead of the frame I actually cut the frame apart, and I'm using it as some grass strips on the border in order to anchor. On the top I added some fluffy white clouds, and that is also from the Grass Frames die set. The happy is also cut from the Mix and Match paper pack number 1, and that is using the large happy die, and the Easter is already stamped out, and that is from the Happy Sayings. So when I build a scene, I like to make sure that I have some images that are lower and then some images that are higher. And then what I'm going to do is to fill in the space between my 2 chicks. And I'm going to use the Easter egg and the flowers in order to fill in the space between them. And I'm just going to keep on kind of lining it up just to see what makes sense to me. And I want to use all of the pieces here because I want to create a really bright, fun scene for them. So as you can see, these 2 chicks are dancing on top of our green grass from the Grass Frames die set. And this happy is going to go up into the sky to complete our sentiment of Happy Easter. And I stamped out Easter already on a piece of white cardstock and just die cut that out with a sentiment die. And this is going to complete our card. And I just absolutely love this entire scene with these very, very happy chicks and their eggs, and they're just on their way to make somebody a very, very happy Easter. So thank you so much for joining me on the Whimsy Stamps channel. I'd love to know your techniques for making a scene card